Hi, this is Byjumax, and welcome to the part 2 of using Matlab neural network in C# application. Uh, those who have missed part 1, you can view the same in my blog www.byjumax.blogspot.com. In last screencast, we have created a XORNet using Matlab neural network toolbox, and we have saved the same in local drive. And you can see here sample XORNet math workspace. Now in today's screencast we are going to write a wrapper function around a simulate or sim function, which is basically simulates the network, and we convert that algorithm to a .NET callable assembly and call the same from C# application. And we'll discuss the problem with that approach, and we'll also discuss the solution to get around with that problem. So let's begin. So you can see here I have already wrote an M file. Its function name is my XORNet, and it accepts an input, and it's load the example XORNet workspace, and simulate the XOR underscore net and the with the inputs, and returns the results. So let's first try this function from Matlab, whether it works or not. It's my XORNet. So it accepts two parameters, one parameter input. Just try with the 1 0. Just see. Okay, the answer is 1. Now let's try with 1 1. And 0 0. So we got the result. So it's working fine. Now we'll convert this M file to a .NET callable assembly, so using a deploy tool. Those who are not familiar with deploy tool, I would suggest to go through my screencast developing financial application using .NET and Matlab, which will give a fair idea about how to use the deploy tool to convert an M code to a .NET callable assembly. Let's go and type deploy tool. Full screen. Now create a project. That's Matlab builder for .NET. Just say test XOR. So we have created a project. Now add the algorithm or the M file that we want to convert. That is myxornet.m. Now project settings, .NET framework. I'm going to use the 2.0. Then click OK. Now build the project. Now the compilation is completed here. So let's go and check the folder. So here is our XOR and the dist folder. Now you can see here it's a test xor.dll is created. So we are going to use that assembly in our C# application. Let me open the Visual Studio. First we have to add the reference to test xor.dll. Let me add the reference. Let me open ensemble test xor distrib and the test xor.dll. Now we have added test xor to our project. Let's use the namespace using test XOR. Now I have code snippet which basically calls the function my XOR not net. I don't want to type all those things, so I have just copy the code snippet from here, which I have already wrote. Okay, let me ignore all those errors. So you can see here I created a test XOR class object, and so I prepared an input 0 0. First I'm going to try input 0 0, and there is an input and an output, and the signature accepts 3 parameters, which the first one is the args out, which is nothing but the number of output we are expecting, which is 1 in our case. So I'm passing a reference output and the input, and printing that output in a text box. You can see here design. So I have here a text box and a button. So on button click, we are just invoking the Matlab algorithm and simulating our network to get the results. So if anything exception happens, we are just assigning the exception to the text property of the text box. Let's go and build this application. So here we'll just click sim button, which basically passes 0 0 to our Matlab converted assembly, .NET assembly, which will in turn invoke our sim function and get the desired result. So instead of the result, we got something like a system application exception and MWMCR evaluate function error, undefined function or method sim for input arguments of the type struct. The problem with this approach is that deploy tool doesn't support the sim function. It's a limitation of deploy tool in the version which I have using 7.4.0. I don't know what the latest version whether supports the sim function or not, but there is a workaround for to get around with the sim function. Let's discuss that workaround and see the actual results. Let me close this